Awaken Astral Blade sets the stage on Horace Island, presenting a mysterious world filled with dark visuals and intricate environments. As a Metroidvania, it combines exploration with combat and platforming mechanics. Visually, Awaken knows how to capture attention, but the game's strengths don't consistently extend beyond its beautiful exterior. Combat is one of the game's more solid features. It is crisp and responsive. Starting with basic blades, players gradually unlock a wider arsenal, including scythes and a range of combo moves and finishers. The skill tree system allows for further customization of Tania's combat style, adding some depth to the experience. However, despite this customization, the combat never quite reaches the complexity of other titles in the genre. It's rewarding, but not particularly deep. The story, focusing on Tania's journey to uncover her origins, features a few twists and multiple possible endings. While this setup could be engaging, the narrative doesn't reach the emotional or creative heights that would make it truly memorable. In fact, the writing feels rather generic, with little to distinguish it from other games of this type. Despite the game's visual and gameplay strengths, the story remains one of its weakest link, lacking the depth or originality to fully captivate. Boss battles, on the other hand, stand out as a highlight. Each boss has unique patterns that players must learn to overcome, and these encounters are some of the game's most satisfying moments. In contrast, the standard enemies lack variety, often following repetitive attack patterns that do little to challenge or surprise the player. This lack of enemy variety drags down the pacing of the game and reduces the excitement between boss fights. Movement and platforming in Awaken are fluid for the most part. With early unlocks like double jumping and air dashing, traversal is generally smooth. Still, the game lacks the finesse and heart that set top-tier Metroidvania games apart. While the mechanics work well, they don't quite elevate the experience to something more engaging or unforgettable. The difficulty level offers a moderate challenge, requiring skillful dodging, parrying, and well-timed attacks. While some may appreciate the steady balance, others might find it a little too mild for a Metroidvania, as the game rarely reaches the intense difficulty spikes that fans of the genre often seek. The inclusion of multiple weapons and combos does help combat stay fresh, but the system isn't intricate enough to fully engage players looking for a deeper challenge. In terms of replay value, Awaken offers a few reasons to return, including multiple endings and hidden areas. But with its relatively short length and lack of complex mechanics, it's unlikely that I would go back for repeated playthroughs. After one run, there's a sense that you've seen most of what the game has to offer. Ultimately, Awaken Astral Blade is a visually stunning game with functional mechanics, but it lacks the emotional depth and innovation to stand out in the crowded Metroidvania genre. While it's a solid entry, it doesn't break new ground, leaving it feeling somewhat hollow despite its strong presentation. For players looking for a Metroidvania that's competent but not revolutionary, it's worth playing, but it may not linger in your memory for long. I would rate it a solid 7 out of 10. It is decent and very enjoyable, but also forgettable.